Hey guys, we're back here on the Hunter Call of the Wild, and today we're going to be going over 5 top tips that will definitely get you started right in the Hunter Call of the Wild. Getting started in this game is not an easy thing. This is definitely going to set you on the right path, and we're definitely going to head right into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is how and where to find animals. I hear new players complaining that they just can't find anything to shoot, and I do get how that is a problem when you are first getting started. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that when you start, if you don't own any DLC maps, you're going to be playing here in Layton or in Hirschfelden, and in my opinion, they're probably 2 of the toughest maps in the game. If you can, I do recommend getting at least 1 or 2 DLC maps, or you can play any of the DLC maps for free in multiplayer. Now, to find animals, you want to hunt around water. Not every species in the game drinks, but most of them do. I would say 90% of the animals do come to the water at some point to drink, and so that is just the easy way to find animals. Now, animals, they have a routine. So for example, we have whitetail drinking here. Whitetail drink from 8 until 12 on this map, and you can see it says it right down there in the right hand corner, and that is a need zone. Basically, what that means is when you see whitetail at their need zone, that is basically their home base. They won't necessarily show up right at 8 o'clock, but at some point during 8 and 12, they will show up and drink in this location, and that should make them easier to find. It is totally okay to run around your map, slow down when you get to about 150 meters away from water sources, start walking and spot all around the edge of the lake. Make sure you spot absolutely everything before you shoot and spook animals away, but it is definitely easier to find animals on maps like Silver Ridge Peaks, Savannah, Te Awaroa. Layton and Hirsch are a little more challenging. Now, I do have these reference sheets for you guys to use in my Discord. There is one for every single map, and so it'll actually tell you all of the zone times, actually. Every piece of information you could ever want to know about each animal in the game are on these sheets. We do have one for each map, and I will leave the link to my Discord in the description below, and would love to have you guys join. So, for example, we're talking about white-tailed deer here. They are a class 4 species. They go from level 1 to level 3, as well as 10 fabled. There is their diamond trophy rating, and everything you need to know about them is right in here. So their drink time is from 8 to 12. So if you wanted to hunt moose, for example, their drink time is from 12 to 16. So I would set the time for somewhere in there. I'd say 1 o'clock. And the only reason you don't set it for 12 is because you may have to wait for them to show up. You have a better chance of finding them right away if you set the time for within the drink time. So let's do that and see how fast we can find moose. This game is super dependent on time, and everything changes when you change the time. So we're going to change it to moose drink time. So we'll just change it to 1:14 just because it was easy. Now let's see how fast we can find some moose. Now we're going to run out onto the river. You just want to go to water and start searching. So I haven't even run 100 meters and I am spotting my very first moose. It is a cow, but that is definitely a moose. So whatever it is you want to hunt for, you change it to that species drink time and head out to water sources, and you should find them. Now, not every species is going to drink around every source of water, and if you are looking for hotspots, I do have the Layton Super Guide. I will link that below as well, guys, and there is a hotspot map for every single species in that video, so it will definitely help you to find whatever it is you're looking for in Layton Lakes. Now, guys, let me know in the comments what level you are, how long you've been playing, and how you're enjoying it. What do you think of Call of the Wild? Let me know below. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is how to know when you're using the correct weapon for whatever it is you'd like to shoot. So when you spot an animal, right underneath where it says 75 to 100, that is the health of the animal. It shows their class. So moose are class 8, and you can just tell that from spotting any animal. So when you're shooting a moose, you need to use ammo that is good for class 8. Now, when you highlight any ammo, it will tell you the recommended classes. So the 300 ammo is good for classes 7 to 9, and the 308 ammo is good for classes 4 to 8. So either one of these, both of them will give integrity for moose. Now, when you are a new player, it can be difficult to find weapons that are good for classes 9 because the base game does not come with a rifle. So if you are looking for one and you're okay with purchasing DLC, I would recommend the Hunter Power Pack, which has the 338 bolt action. If you're sticking with non-DLC, you want to level up your rifle score and unlock the non-DLC 7mm. The 7mm is good for classes 4 all the way up to 9, and the only drawback is it is a single shooter gun. You can only take one shot and then it will reload, so there is no follow-up shot, but it is a very powerful weapon and it is non-DLC. So when you go into the store here and you click on all the different ammo types, it will tell you the recommended classes. So you just want to make sure you have a weapon on you for every class of animal that you are hunting for on that particular map. Now, a perfect loadout for Layton Lakes would include the 7mm. The 7mm is good for classes 4 to 9. So if I highlight the ammo there it says it right there in the bottom. Then I have the Sunberg. The Sunberg is free for new players. It was a gift from EW. Now, you're not going to have a scope as a new player, but you will have the Sunberg, classes 4 to 9. Then we have the 243, which is good for classes 2 to 6. The 22 for class 1, which means between these 3 weapons, we are able to shoot absolutely everything on the map and get integrity. Now, the Virant is not a non-DLC weapon. If you are going completely non-DLC, you're going to have to stick with the Cacciatore 12 gauge. That's a non-DLC shotgun with the 12 gauge birdshot. That will cover class 1, 2 to 6, and 4 to 9. So that covers everything on the map. We have a level 5 moose here. Now, I'm pretty sure he's not going to make diamond. I think he is a troll, but there is a beautiful moose. So now we're going to talk about how to shoot animals correctly. Now, when you first spot an animal, what I recommend you do is open up your map. You will have a green circle exactly where you spotted the animal. And when you highlight it, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, it'll tell you exactly how far that animal is away from you. So this moose is 230.98 meters away. So you want to put a waypoint on there, and that way I know exactly how far the animal is, no matter where I move. And it's totally okay to run up to about 200 meters. The animals will not know you're there. But when you get any closer than 200 meters, especially since the last update, they will start to know that you're there. So we're gonna stick right here. Okay, so on a broadside animal, now he's not perfectly broadside, but he's definitely good enough for right now. We're gonna use the 7mm. Now I'm 182 meters away. When you first get started, you're not gonna have weapon zeroing. So I would highly recommend that you take your shots from no further than 200 meters until you have 2 points in weapon zeroing. You're automatically zeroed to 150 meters before you have zeroing. So when you take a shot from 200 meters or closer, you should hit very close to where the crosshairs are. So you wanna aim right behind the shoulder blade, right about here. That's gonna give you at least a single lung shot, possibly a double lung shot. All right, so here we go. Right about there. Now the 7mm, it will take him a minute to drop, and it automatically reloads. Let's go have a look. Now, once you see hunting pressure, that will actually tell you that the animal has died, and we don't have any yet. Okay, so now we have hunting pressure, so that tells you first and foremost that that moose has died. So you want to go over to the hunting pressure and put a waypoint right in the center, but if you've already marked the animal, it will already be there. Basically, what hunting pressure tells you is first and foremost that the animal has died, and secondly, you want to go right to the middle of the hunting pressure. That is where the animal was shot. Not where the animal is, but where you shot it, and you can then track the animal from there. I do have the Bloodhound DLC. He is absolutely amazing for tracking, but if you don't have it, it is totally okay to do your own tracking, and I will do my own right now. So this is a vital blood splatter, so we did get a good shot. So now we are going to follow the blood, and it's going to lead us to where the animal died. So you want to follow that blood trail. Now, when you're brand new, you may not see the health dropping. That will come with choosing the correct skills and perks. So to see the health of the animal dropping when you're tracking, you want to go under Stalker Skills to Track Knowledge. And you want 3 points in Track Knowledge. Number 1 reveals info about the animal's gender when investigating footprints and vocalizations. Number 2 reveals info about the approximate animal group size when investigating need zone tracks. And the health when investigating blood trails. So number 2 is the one we're looking for there. And number 3 reveals info about an animal's approximate weight when investigating footprints and fur types when investigating disturbed vegetation. So I do highly recommend 3 points in Track Knowledge. When you pick up each blood splatter, just follow the cone. It'll lead you to more tracks until you do eventually find your downed animal. Okay, and here he is. And he is an absolute beauty. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh. Okay, and just like I thought, he is not a diamond, he is a gold, but he sure is a beauty. So let's look at our shot there. If we were perfectly broadside, he would have been standing basically like that, and the shot would have come straight on. But even quartering away, that was a beautiful shot. You want to hit basically right in the middle of the lung here. But in order to pass the harvest check and get full score on an animal, this is what you need to do. You need to use the proper ammo. You can only shoot an animal twice maximum. You have to keep the trophy organs intact. So what that means is I couldn't have shot this moose in the head because the trophy organs are his antlers. So that would have ruined him. And last, we need to hit at least one vital organ. So the vital organs on every animal are either lung, liver, neck, and heart. Those are the 4 vital organs. So once you have fulfilled all those requirements, and we did, if you messed up on any of these, it will be crossed out in red and it will actually tell you down here. So we are good there, and so gold is his full score. Now guys, I really wouldn't worry about finding 1,000,000 diamonds when you're brand new. Diamonds are absolutely a lot of fun to hunt for in this game, but when you're getting started, just enjoy the process. There's so much to learn in this game, and there is lots of time to trophy hunt. Just enjoy the game, and if you find something sweet while you're doing it, that's awesome. Just don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Enjoy it. It is the most amazing game ever. It really is. This is how far he ran, so the tracks led us right over here. Now, when you have triple hunting pressure, that is the maximum amount of pressure you can have and still keep your need zones intact. Once you kill 4 animals, you're going to have a very bright purple splatter here, and any need zones under the hunting pressure will disappear. They will go somewhere else on your map. They're not gone forever, but we don't know where they're gonna go. You just have to re-find it if you still want to use that zone. Now, the way to protect yourself from not deleting your zones underneath of hunting pressure is to use any hunting stand. When you shoot anything from a tripod or any hunting structure, even the ones that come with the map, you can kill 15 animals without losing your zone underneath, and the 16th kill will delete the zone, which is plenty. So basically, your need zones are protected from using a hunting structure. Now, they are all DLC except for the ones that come on the map. Now, the other thing I want to mention is when you're getting started, the very best scope to use is this one right here, the Hyperion. The Hyperion is a scope that I use 95% of the time. I absolutely love the Hyperion, and this is it here. You're not too zoomed in, so if you want to take multiple animals, it is so much easier to do this when you are using the Hyperion. The rim on it isn't blocking a lot of your visual area compared to the Argus, and this is the Argus right here. When you're using the Argus, you're way more zoomed in, so taking more than one animal becomes more difficult, plus a lot of your visual sight lines are blocked by this huge rim, so the Hyperion is definitely the way to go. And the Argus and the Hyperion are both non-DLC scopes. Now, the other thing you want right away as a new player are the Apex View Binoculars, which are also non-DLC. Just level up enough and get those as soon as you possibly can, because then you can spot animals and it measures the distance all at once. These are definitely the best binoculars in the game. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now are my absolute favorite weapons in the game that I use all the time. So the first one is the 300 Canning Magnum. Now, this is, in my opinion, the best 7-9 rifle in the game. It also is the hardest one to obtain. The 300 comes with the Yukon Valley DLC. It is 75,000 in-game dollars, and you do have to unlock it as a new player. So that is definitely something I would highly recommend working towards if you do want to purchase the Yukon DLC. If not, you can purchase the 338 bolt action in the Hunter Power Pack, and it is good for classes 7-9, and that will have you covered. The 300 is just a little bit stronger and has a little less recoil than the 338, but you're totally fine with the 338 bolt action. Now, I do use the 243 all the time. That covers my 2 to 4 class animals, and it is non-DLC. Now, the Virant 22 is my favorite 22 because it has 10 shots compared to the Zarza 22 that comes in the Modern Rifles DLC. The Zarza 22 will get you going. It will cover those class 1s, but having 10 shots is always better than having 5, and if you want to find the Virant 22, it is in Weapon Pack 1. Then I use the Zarza 308. That is my favorite 4-8 rifle. That also comes in the Modern Rifles DLC, and this is a very popular class 4-8 rifle. You can also go with the FL Sporter 303, and that comes with the T Awaroa DLC. Also an excellent 4 to 8 rifle. You can use the M1, the 30-06. There are lots of options, but the Modern Rifles DLC is one weapon pack I would highly recommend getting as a new player because it's going to give you the 308. It's also going to give you a 22. It is the one with 5 shots, but that's all right. And it gives you the Zarza 223. And then, of course, I do use the Cacciatore, which is a non-DLC shotgun. This is basically one of my absolute favorite loadouts, and it will cover absolutely everything on the map. Definitely check out my 2-part beginner guide to get you started right in the Hunter Call of the Wild. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will definitely see you guys in the next one.